What is up, watch fam? I am Christian, the curator of the Theo and Harris watch shop, and today I am just in front of a brick wall, going to talk to you guys about tritium, one of the few variables you need to understand and consider when analyzing or putting value on a vintage watch. Boom, watch fam. To help me explain, I've got two wonderful examples of vintage watches with tritium dials, both from Rolex. One, an Explorer 2, a reference 16570, and the other, a Rolex GMT Master, reference 16700. Damn, there are so many references. So let's get into it. While for decades it was no secret that radium, the luminous paint that nearly all watch brands, including Rolex, use to illuminate their watches in the dark, was potentially quite harmful when mishandled, it wasn't until 1963 that Rolex found a solution: tritium. Datejust, GMTs, Day-Dates, Explorers, Submariners. Rolex's entire collection featured tritium by 1964. When initially mixed and applied, tritium had a light, creamy color most often. But over time, it has a lovely way of turning to different shades of brown. And because of different tritium mixes, as well as the unique exposure to the elements that each watch faces over its lifetime, no two tritium watches are exactly the same. So let's meet the Rollies. First, an Explorer 2, reference 16570 from 1991. A descendant of the watch Sir Edmund Hillary wore to the top of Mount Everest, the Polar Explorer has become an enthusiast favorite in the last few years, after being ignored for far too long. See the custard of the lume in the hands and the plots? It's dark, it's saturated, as opposed to the way it was born. Unpatinated examples are gorgeous, totally worth owning, but these are a different animal. They're much rarer, and their colors are perfectly coordinated. The browns, the white, the steel, the red, even though Rolex technically didn't intend them to be. There's only one Explorer 2 more collectible. It's the cream reference 16550, and it's no less than 3 times the price. Now, a reference 16700, the 5th generation of Rolex's famed GMT. This one also dates to 1991. It features a fresh Pepsi bezel, quickset date, sharp oyster case and bracelet. Its plots and hands, like those on the Explorer, are tritium, and they've aged subtly to a lighter, creamier color. They add dimension to the color scheme. It could never be mistaken for anything but what they are. For everything tritium has going for it, and despite the incredible, mad love we still have for it today, it wasn't perfect. With a half-life of 12 years, it would inevitably fade to uselessness. Beautiful, custard uselessness. So in 1993, a Japanese inventor designed Luminova, which made its way into Swiss watches by 1998. And then, just a few years after that, was replaced by Super Luminova technology, man. Can you rely on your 1969 Tritium Submariner for legible time at 2 o'clock in the morning? Probably not. But as beautiful, otherwise extremely useful collectibles, these watches are home runs. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Both of these lovely vintage Rolex sports watches are available in the Theo and Harris watch shop. It was my pleasure to source them, just as it will be your pleasure to snatch them up. I'll be here answering any questions, and I'll see you guys soon. But it makes the whole outfit more interesting. The custard lume matches my t-shirt perfectly, which is hysterical. I could throw on a jacket to give